Hey, how's it going, guys? It is Fox98 here. Welcome back to a brand new video and another episode of our F1 2021 Road to Mercedes. We're here for round number 18, which is the Brazilian Grand Prix. Only 3 races left of this season, and we have already guaranteed ourselves a promotion for next season. So we're pretty much just trying to end this season so we can get into a new car. But if you end up enjoying today's video, feel free to drop it a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here as well. And we're going to get straight on into things then. So as you can see, this is how the R&D progress looks. Well, actually, we'll skip that. We'll go straight into the weekend itself. And then we'll go through it all because it'll give us a better indication of where we're at.
Okay, I need your attention. The tech regulations are changing. There's a risk some of our hard work will be undone, so we need to mitigate it. As soon as you can, I want you to look at the developments we have and tell us what areas you want to invest in protecting.
Right, okay, so we've got a regulation change coming in. No cutscene though, like we'd had in the previous games. Driving, what the? Okay, holy mother of God. We fitted a number of new... I have not had, like, fucking 16 worths of upgrades come onto the cars. That's a little bit broken. As you know, the team's been busy with important contract negotiations after the last few days. Attached is a summary of all the recent market activity. None. Awesome. Right, let's go into the R&D then and see what's going to go tits up. We've got... Oh, dear, that's not good. Oh, dear. Chassis and durability are all under threat. Well, I've literally focused all of my life on this area of the car, so... Bloody hell, this is going to take some doing to try and save this car, and then the durability, I mean... Honestly, it's not that bad, considering we only did one upgrade. Well, actually, I've got another one coming in, I tell a lie. Okay, so what we'll do then is we won't bother protecting anything now. Well, as soon as the episode is over, we'll go through and basically get everything protected. And hopefully then, we won't have any issues, unlike condoms. But for now then, let's get straight into the weekend itself. It's going to be a wet weekend, but before we get into all of that, we've got 2 upgrades coming for the aerodynamics, and then we've got 1 for the durability on the way. Looking at the progress history though, this is how things have stood up. So, Mercedes-Benz are currently the fastest team on the grid, with Red Bull and McLaren literally pixels separating the 2 of them. Ferrari and Aston Martin with pixels separating the 2 of them. Then it's Alpine in their own little bubble. Then it's AlphaTauri and Alfa Romeo. Then it's ourselves in the Williams, and then Haas are long behind. They were actually level with us pretty much. We've pretty much been neck and neck with Haas all season long, but finally we're starting to really pile on the upgrades and really start to develop, which I kind of like, because we sort of, you know, everything's on default for me this season, but you know, you can see how we've been tossing and turning with them, but it's only now that we're really starting to sort of get away from them and pull into a little bit of a midfield battle. But we're going to get straight into practice now and get through these and get some more upgrades onto the car. And, well, I don't say upgrades anymore onto the car. But obviously what I would like to do is I'd like to do as much as I can to help Williams. I'm not just going to keep upgrading and just, like, screw them so that they're straight away at the back, because that's kind of just that's just a dick move. So we'll invest in protecting everything we can on the Williams, because you never know, they could be a top team and someone that we got a challenge for the title with Mercedes. Imagine that, I moved to Mercedes and my championship rivals are Williams. I'd be mad. It won't happen though, but you never know, you can always dream. Oh, that's a great start to my fucking session, isn't it? I've just bottled it into the first corner. Right, time to cool off the tyres and go again. Are you fucking kidding me? I've just spun again. There we go. Much better, lad. A little bit, there's still lots of time to find, obviously, because when I was actually on that lap, the rear tyres hadn't cooled down because I spun at the last corner, so great lap that one to start us off. Right, up to the line. It should get us through into Q3. Q3? Come on, about Q2. And it does. I think it says P13 now on the wheel, which means that we have made it through into the second part of qualifying. Started to become a regular now into Q2, which is good to see. And as you can see, there is confirmation that we've made it through into Q2. Not really that much more performance. I probably could have got out of the car. Maybe one corner that I lost a little bit of time at. But apart from that, all is good. Unfortunately for Russell, he doesn't make it out of Q1. In the end, we had enough to get ourselves through into Q2. Whether we can go any further than that is another question. But for now, we're going to go into the next part of qualifying. I'm so glad I'm about to finish this lap now because it's just started raining. If this lap is good enough, we're into Q3. But if it's not, then, well, obviously we're not. You know, it's just how it is. Holy shit on toast! I've just smashed it into P2! Oh, let's go! Mate, that's well more than enough to get through into Q3. No one's improving now. Look at the track conditions. I knew the rain was coming. I was a little bit of a smart, cheeky bastard and got my weather forecaster out. I've just smashed it! Let's go! Yes! We're into Q3! Let's go. Right, Verstappen. Top the pile. Ahead of myself and then Lando Norris. Bit of Pierre Gasly. Leclerc, Bottas, Hamilton qualifying on the medium tyres. That doesn't make a difference because it's meant to be a wet race. But yeah, Sergio Perez and Ricciardo and both Aston Martins are out qualifying. That's a bit of a worry. Again, we need to make sure Aston Martin are competitive because if they're not, then we're fucked for next season. Right, that is our first competitive time, and it looks like we got some pace in the wet, which is good, but I never really found the extra time I was looking for. Now, I know the corner where it's caused me the problems. I've just got to go back into the pits, get another set of inters on, and go again. Oh yes, good exit at the last corner. That's going to help us all the way down the straight. 3/10 up on our best lap. Where's this lap going to put me? Where am I going? I have no idea. I literally have absolutely no idea where that lap's put me. What does that say? That says P3 on there, does it? That equals our best qualifying then. Ever in this series. It is. Right, well, yeah, that equals our best qualifying ever in this Williams car. It's got a lot of pace in the wet, which is awesome. We're fast in the middle sector especially. Looking forward to the race then. This is promising. This is really, really promising. We could try and win in Williams, and I'd be satisfied with that, obviously.
Welcome along then to the place where heroes and history are made. It's where the 2008 title was decided in the final corner. And it's the place, a year later, that Jenson Button stormed through from 14th on the grid to claim his one and only Drivers' Championship. It's Interlagos, and it's time for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Interlagos, always a very special race here in Brazil. It's a 2.7-mile circuit with 9 lefts and 6 rights for a total of 15 corners. But it's a wet one today, so grip and visibility will be at a premium. And the drivers will need to be careful coming up the hill in Sector 3, the scene of many an accident over the years. It's not going to be plain sailing for our drivers today, although with the sky falling as it is, perhaps sailing isn't too far from the truth. And Anthony Davidson, could be a wet one today. Great to have you with us. What are your thoughts?
It is a touch damp, isn't it? Well, as a driver, there are 3 big things to worry about when racing in these kind of conditions: standing water, tyre temperature and visibility. Judging distance to the cars around you is really tricky when you're driving through the vast amounts of spray that these wet weather Pirelli tyres kick up.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Thomas lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Sainz, Charles Leclerc and Gasly, Ocon, Stroll, Hamilton. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty, and Sergio Perez, Verstappen, Vettel, Kimi Raikkonen and Russell, Giovinazzi, Fernando Alonso, Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin, Ricciardo and Yuki Tsunoda. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Whoa,
Okay,
whoa,
here we
whoa,
go.
whoa,
I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Hang on, shut up a minute, Jeff. Jeff. I was on my phone, And I don't like listening to the intros, but obviously I play it so you guys can see it. I'm on pole position! What the fuck? Okay. I'm a little bit starstruck, it must be said. I don't know what my setup is. Oh, it's fine. Okay. We're on pole position here for the Brazilian Grand Prix, everybody. Let's do this! I'm ready! I'm actually low-key crapping my pants, but here we go then. 5 red lights for my Williams! Nice. Just get it in towards the first corner. Saucy! That's a bit of a cheat there, but you can lick my face. Boom, and then power on the ERS down straight here. In towards turn 4, Norris is closing, but we're in the lead, and we're now going to be a defensive bastard all race long. I cannot wait for the defensiveness that I'm going to be defending with all of my fendingness. It is going to be, well, I'm going to do everything to win this race. You bloody bet well I am. We've made it through the first lap of the Grand Prix and we're in the lead, as Lando Norris has got way more straight line speed than I have. So that's going to be a bit of a concern. I think we've got more downforce than the McLaren, which I didn't think I'd ever be saying in my life, but we just do. Whereas the McLaren is so much faster in a straight line, so it's going to be quite worrying. You can see him closing, as long as we can hold him off for the time being, because they're obviously using max engine modes right now and just, well, max everything. As long as we can get through this phase, we can start to build a gap. We're quicker in the middle sector by quite some margin, but then he counters that by being so much quicker in the first and final sectors in a straight line. So, critical. New fastest lap of the race so far. We are pulling away from Lando Norris. He is still mega quick in a straight line, but the downforce settings that we've picked for this car versus the wet weather conditions then in the middle sector. How can I have floor damage when I've not even touched a bloody curb? I hate the glitch on the game sometimes, man. Versus our middle sector pace, it's just so powerful. I love it. I hate the MFD pop-up glitch, man. It's so frustrating. It's just annoying and distracting. Like, it's telling me I've got floor damage when I'm driving on the road. If I get floor damage, it's because I'm battering a curb or I've smashed my car into a wall. Not because I'm driving on normal tarmac. You apocalyptically annoying MFD. Do you mind, Jeff? Like, I'm trying to talk here, and you're in the way. I've just realised that it's lap 14 of this Grand Prix. This race has flown by. Like, I've literally just been driving. That's all I've done. I didn't realise it was already lap 14. This race has flown by. I mean, I'm not complaining, but yeah, we're just in complete cruise mode. I felt like Hamilton at the 2020 Spanish Grand Prix, because Hamilton was in such a groove in that race that he'd crossed the start-finish line to win, but he didn't realise that the race was over. He was just so in the zone that he didn't realise that the checkered flag had come out for him.
Laps of fuel remaining.
And it's the same with me. I'm just cruising. Gap's up to 5.3 seconds. Norris is much quicker in a straight line, as per said. He's faster. You can see it now, actually, when we go on this straight here. Stay on board for a bit. Gap 5.4 seconds. Watch it drop as it starts, as we get towards the end of the straight, down to 5.2. Yeah, still at 5.2. It'll go a little bit less as they get towards the end. 5.1. Yeah, so you can see on that straight alone, he's about 0.3 faster. Get onto this straight now. Again, gap is dropping. It'll drop to like 4.9 or something, maybe 4.8. There you go. So in the span of the first and the final sector, gap was 5.4, dropped to 4.8. That's 0.6 that Norris took out of me, just in a straight line. That's not... Oh, that's a bit wide for me. Just in a straight line. That's like... Oh, fuck off, MFD. I didn't even run off a track, you pagan. Yeah, that's just from straight line.
Is an interesting one, but I think
alright, shut up, Jeff. Now you really annoy me. But yeah, but in the middle sector, you can just see that I'm able to pull away in traction zones, especially this corner here. This corner is a man's best friend. But yeah, I'm just in cruise control mode. I'm absolutely loving this right now. We're about to end Williams Racing's streak of not winning a race in however many years it's been now. 2012, since Pastor Maldonado, my guy. Right, here we are then. Officially gonna make some history. Williams crossed the line, and we've...
Jeff, I want my pizza, Jeff.
Give me my pizza! Cross the start-finish line to win the Brazilian or the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Yeah, that race just flew by. Absolutely flew by. I don't even remember. Yeah, it was just absolute joy.
Brilliant stuff from Williams today. What a superb victory. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, they clearly have a car that comes alive in the kind of conditions we were dealing with today. It's a very balanced package in the wet, and what that means is that the drivers have confidence to attack. And having that confidence gets you on the power earlier, it lets you brake later, and can put you a long way up the road.
So here they come now, with Williams leading the way to the podium. A hard-fought victory for the team today, and one I'm sure they'll savour. It's Williams, today's winners.
Well, there we go then. The streak is finally over for the first time since 2012. Williams have won a Formula 1 Grand Prix. After starting from pole, we never looked back. We had the pace over Lando Norris in the middle sector, crucially by quite some margin, which really helped us out. Maybe if Valtteri Bottas got back in front of Lando, could have been a different story. I think Bottas was probably going to be tougher to hold back. But he lost out to Norris and couldn't pass him. So we take the win. Norris in second ahead of Bottas, Leclerc, Gasly in fifth place. Sainz, Stroll, Ocon, Perez, and then Hamilton rounding off. Now, it said Tsunoda got driver of the day. Oh, wow. Tsunoda started 20th and finished 17th. Sorry, guys. So sorry. But yeah, awesome race. If we look at the championship then, that win propels us up to 5th in the championship. Tied on points with Charles Leclerc behind the two Mercs and the two McLarens, with Verstappen dropping down in terms of positions. And then Gasly goes in front of Stroll. The other little change there. Constructors' Championship, we do leapfrog Aston Martin with that race win, meaning we are now 5th in the Constructors. Crucially, but of course, there's still 2 races to go. And I don't know how the player versus the AIs will compare in Australia and Abu Dhabi. But that being said and done, we're going to go into the laptop now and start protecting some of the upgrades. Quick little look here at the rivalry for you guys. So we're 5-2 up in this race against Stroll, meaning we lead the driver rivalry 19 points to 11. Thought I'd keep you up to date with that. And then in terms of our driver acclaim, we're very close to level 12 now, which is great to see. But yeah, that race was absolutely epic. Norris, of course, was quick in the first and the final sectors. We had the pace in the middle sector, which was just absolutely key. The car just had the right amount of downforce. I think if it was dry, I mean, we saw where we were if we were dry. It probably would have been a different area. We've actually got our front wing upgrade, our front downforce upgrade to actually get on the car, which is a miracle. But what we're going to do now is we're going to skip forward just to make sure nothing fails, and we'll just chuck it on because, oh fuck it, it's durability. I'm not even bothered that that's failed. As long as this Halo upgrade comes on, that's the crucial one. There we go, lovely jubbly, and that puts us. Yeah, but it's not the end of the world, mate, because it's durability, so it can kind of lick my left potato. You know what I'm saying, like. But nonetheless, though, if we go to Aerodynamics now, you can see here that the front wing end plates for the downforce and the halo comes on. So we've got both front and rear downforce coming onto the car in time for the next race. And that means then that we've got front wing main plane, which is an ultimate upgrade, I think. No, it's major. Okay, it says it there for me. And then we've got rear wing outer strake. So plenty of things that we can do to the car, but obviously we're now going to look at protecting things rather than actually buying things. This was the thing that failed. To be honest, I don't care. So, looking at things that we need to protect then. So, we're just going to start with the most expensive ones, because that's important to do that. So we're going to adapt those parts, and we'll adapt this part here. So there we go. So we've adapted now 3 of the parts. We've got one more, should we say, major upgrade to adapt. The rest then are cheap points there. So we could probably get away with actually saving everything on the chassis for this car, which is obviously what we want to be doing. But guys, that is going to be it for our episode of F1 2021 Road to Mercedes. If you have enjoyed the video, drop it a like, subscribe if you're new around here as well. And I will see you guys for the next race, which is the Australian Grand Prix. Take care all.